Hello, let's cook breakfast. Alright, so we got to start with coffee, so we need some hot water for that. Next, we got to grind up our beans. I prefer to use Starbucks coffee. It's not like it tastes that much better than any other coffee, it's just fairly cheap and it gets the job done, so that's why I use it. I usually use 3 scoops of, I think that's 1/8, so 3/8 cups of coffee grounds. I don't really weigh it out. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just grind the coffee and make it. I always shake it though because someone told me to, and I do it every single time. Now it's time to go ahead and start brewing the coffee. So I use regular coffee filters and I just stuff them in there because I have a lot of these regular coffee filters and I'm not about to spend money on some new ones. But yeah, so I just fold them in there and I use the water to help it stick to the sides and to wash out whatever papery taste there is in the filter. And I've never tasted the papery taste, but the coffee experts tell me it's a papery taste in there, so you gotta wash it out. Alright, so let's go ahead and pour the grounds, what is it? I don't know. Pour the coffee in there, man. I don't know what else to say. Okay, so you're supposed to bloom your coffee, and what that means is just like get the beans a little bit wet to where it can release whatever gas is still trapped in the beans. This is Starbucks coffee though, so like nothing really happens when you bloom it, so like do it if you want. I tried to, it didn't really work, but yeah, you're supposed to go ahead and do that, but this is just breakfast. Let's not take it too serious. Alright, so that was fun, but now let's get to the meat and potatoes. Literally. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab our sausage patties. I prefer old folks hot, but we had medium today. I typically eat 4 sausages for breakfast, but today we only had 2. And honestly, you don't really only need 2. I just be hungry sometimes. Next, we need 5 eggs. I know, that's a lot of eggs, but the recipe calls for 5 eggs. And so does my stomach. So I know what happened to the eggs. They're chilling on the side. Right now we have to prep the potatoes because they kind of have to dry out for a little bit. I usually would use russet potatoes to make hash browns, but I had these laying around, so it's like, wow, we got these waste. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and rinse our potatoes. This is supposed to remove some of the excess starch and help the hash brown be a little bit more crunchy. But honestly, you can skip this step because I barely notice the difference. I just do it out of habit. Now that you rinse your potatoes, you want to go ahead and dry them out a little bit. So I just wring them out with these rags and I let them sit for as long as they possibly can so they get as dry as possible. Alright, so back to the eggs. Now, We're gonna go ahead and chop up our sausages for our omelet. This part is pretty self-explanatory. We're just gonna crack 4 eggs and beat them. Now that we have our eggs, let's go ahead and get our pan ready. I just checked the temperature of my pan because my stove is broken and it gets really hot really fast. Like, there's 8 numbers, but if you set it past 2, it's gonna burn some shit. So yeah. Okay, so whenever you're making an omelet, you just kind of pull in the edges, you know what I'm saying? As you can see, I'm just working everything to the middle just so I can allow a lot of the egg to cook, so it's not just pulled up on the top. And once we have a decent amount of eggs in the middle, that's when we're gonna start building our omelet. Alright, so shout out to my dad in the background if you can hear him. But yeah, we just go ahead and do cheese, sausage, cheese. And that's how you build the perfect omelet. At least how I build a perfect omelet. Put whatever you want in there. You can put some spinach, ham, whatever you want. Spam. I don't know about spam, but yeah, put whatever you want in there. So whenever you're trying to cover up your omelet, you gotta just go for it. You can't try to lollygag and shit. You just have to just go for it. Just like that. Look at that. Damn near perfect. Next, let's go ahead and start with the hash browns. So we use 2 tablespoons of butter. Melt that down a little bit. Play around with it, you know what I'm saying? Have fun with it. Then we add a little bit of extra oil. Now we add our grated potatoes. You want to hear that nice sizzle whenever you drop them in there. I've seen that you kind of want to cook it a little bit hot. Not too hot, because you don't want to burn the outside before you can cook it all the way through. But I think you want it kind of hot, like at I'd say about 350. That's just my guess. I'm no hash brown expert though. Do what you want. Okay, so I've tried to fill that hash browns many times. I try to get it as close to like a hash brown patty as possible. Doesn't always work out like that, but you know, I mean, I eat it and it's pretty good, so I don't know. So last but not least, we make some pancakes. I love Kodiak cake pancake mix, so that's what I use. I usually use the recommended serving, so 1 cup. If you really want to pack on the protein, just go ahead and add an egg in there. Next, we add some milk. And if you're wondering what I'm listening to, I'm listening to the Migos. Solid album. So you want to just keep on adding milk until you get to your desired texture. I prefer my mix a little bit thick, but to each their own. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I made the batter a little bit too thick. This is how I typically like it. I mean, I like it a little bit thicker than this, but this is good too. Whenever you make the batter a little bit thinner, it's easier to tell when it's time to flip because the bubbles will start to pop through. On thicker doughs or batters, it can take a little while, And if the pan's too hot, you may burn the outside of your pancakes, which is a no-go. Now, it's time to enjoy a sausage omelet, hash browns, 2 pancakes. Can't forget though, we made coffee. It's somewhere. Hold on, it's coming, I promise. And there we go. Beautiful. So that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be posting some more content like this, so be on the lookout. Also, if you want to see me a little bit more frequently, go ahead and follow me on TikTok. I'm very active on there. I post a lot of vlogs similar to this, but yeah, that's it. Like, comment, and subscribe and all that jazz, but peace out.